Nah, I don't know.
Exactly.
Was he the guy that was really gullible?
No.
Who was the one that was really gullible?
I don't know.
You were like, yeah, this guy loves sucking cock because he's a big cocksucker. And he was like, wait, really? You're gay? And I was like,
maybe that was. Am I sitting higher than normal?
yeah, because you lower your chair. And then because you lower the chair, it then gives me a carpal tunnel.
That is not the reason for your carpal.
Can you clap and then I'll explain how yes
clapped,
it is?
But okay.
I don't think you did.
I did, but okay.
Real shit. Sorry, I shouldn't swear at the first start. Real stuff. Rotate it from the back because the cords will. Nope. Other clockwise. There you go. Yeah, you see. No, you did. You like 2 weeks ago during a podcast recording lowered the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, why you do that? And you're like, because I want to mess with you, because I want to mess with the framing, because you're a normal, aloof type beat, you know, checking Gmail on your watch, because you're normal shit. Take your shoes off. Your normal shit. And then what happens is that I don't move it back up because I wasn't thinking of it. But then the next day, I spent researching on my computer a lot. And you know what? Because of the lower angle of the chair, my like arm, like here-ish, was getting put like right here, was being pressed up against by the edge of the desk. And then ever since then, you know how like if a limb falls asleep, there's like two parts. There's like that kind of feeling of like if you touch something, it feels kind of numb. But then also like if you shake it, it feels like there's a bunch of like sandbags in it. You know what I'm talking? Or like a beanbag chair. Okay.
I only ever get like the prickly.
That's what I mean. Like it's kind of like a weird, like fuzzy feeling in a way. I have ever since then in my left hand, I haven't had the prickly fuzzy, but I have had numbness in my pinky, half of my ring finger, and then all the way down to here.
That's not carpal tunnel.
You want to fucking fight with the doctor about it?
Carpal tunnel is the wrist.
Okay, it's corpo tunnel.
Correct.
Can you pull the mic closer?
I was just being a stickler for carpal versus corpo.
Yeah, corpo tunnel. Excuse you. This isn't right.
There's got to be a better way.
I like it more on this side, but it's just so unbalanced.
It's funny, you just get a sandbag.
Okay, that's a good point. Where could I buy those?
Either Best Buy or your school probably has a bunch.
Why are you in whisper mode today?
I'm not in there.
You are.
I'm
in whisper mode today.
I'm not.
You could probably get it at like Best Buy or your school.
But your school probably has 8 bajillion sandbags.
Yeah, but they wouldn't sell them.
You don't need to sell it. You can steal it.
Okay, but no, they're real tight-lipped about equipment. And they definitely would categorize that under equipment. Real. There's so much paperwork and shit you have to fill out. Because it's for insurance reasons, so that if you break it, then like they'll kind of cover it. But like it would definitely be considered part of equipment, even though you wouldn't break a sandbag. Real.
I wonder what Facebook Market. I don't know where my phone went. I wonder what Facebook Marketplace.
You and the phone.
You know it leads you to it now?
Really?
Yeah.
But that's probably new watches.
Yeah, it is new watches.
Yeah, I got old watches.
I used to have an old watch. I had an Apple Watch Series 3 up until this year. Yeah, about the SE. That's not what's preventing you from seeing it.
Is it not on here?
It is.
Well, it's just smudged. That's why.
Definitely not smudged. It's engraved.
No, I'm saying there's smudges over it, which
Oh.
are preventing me from seeing it.
It's on the top of the watch.
What do you mean on the top?
Other side of the watch is what I'm telling you. Flip the watch around.
Dude, it's like so smudged. Essie. Yeah, you're right. I thought I had a 4.
So you're 2 generations above what my old one was, but now it's pretty old.
Yeah, but it still doesn't send text.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
As
old.
evident from yesterday.
Yeah, that blows, doesn't
When
it?
I was trying to text you in the middle of class that one of my classes got canceled. And it didn't send.
Didn't send.
Asshole. It also still have like phantom unread texts. And it's like, I already read those spam texts.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep seeing them.
I think that's
Lame.
still, it's still a problem on this.
Why?
I don't know.
Get
Sometimes
good.
it happens with my Mac too.
Mac is the opposite.
The opposite of unread.
Yeah, it never has unread. That I haven't already read on my phone.
Mm.
Because-
Maybe I just process seeing it
because-
like on the scroll page,
yeah,
and then you go, "Oh, I've seen it."
I've seen it. I've already paid attention to it, even though you haven't responded to it.
Yeah,
It has entered your brain, and you'd be like, text.
I don't
from
really
Jake.
feel the need to respond to text.
No, I know. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah,
I'm well aware.
Yeah, I don't think you text me. You don't really need me that much. You call me. You need me.
No, I've learned that if I need to actually get to you, I have to call you.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, like, what if you're in class?
Then either way, I wasn't ready to receive said information.
No, but what if it's something important, but you're in the middle of class?
Just call me.
Yeah.
I'll hang up and then I'll go, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, and then you'll text. Yeah, true. But it's so much work. You realize that's putting more work on me, right?
A pity for you.
Yeah, but still,
A
it's
pity.
it's an ethical thing if you're putting more work on me just because you aren't willing to respond to text.
Good.
So that
because
I have to
mean-
take the extra step of calling you to then interact with what I sent you in the first place.
and then guess what that tells me?
What?
That it's important.
Okay, but a lot of the stuff I send you is important.
Disagree.
Like what? Name 7.
Yesterday, you sent me actual $1 million idea.
Okay,
to
this
consider
is a
pitch-
$1 million idea. I don't want to hear you slander
To
this.
consider pitching to Coder Fox, voicemail like intentionally. That's it. Watch Eddie's video. I've only gotten maybe 10 minutes into the video.
Okay, can I spoil a
Yeah,
tiny bit of
okay.
Eddie's video?
Yeah.
There's a part where he says there's a little heartwarming montage where he's like, it plays a bunch of different voicemails that people have left him on his landline. And it's like people being like, "Hey man, just chilling. Thought I'd check in on you. It's a nice day out, blah, 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 blah." And it's so heartwarming. It's so heartwarming because it's like people are leaving these voicemails with like no real expectation of a like immediate response or a detailed response or anything. It's just like a check-in in a way. That
Already exist.
yes, but it only exists in a overcomplicated way.
What overcomplicated way?
Audio message on your text, right?
No, voicemail exists.
No, I know. I'm saying an app, like a dumb app. You know how there's like this whole movement around like, oh, lock your phone up, you see screen time, open a tree on your phone with an app, and then the more you ignore your phone, the bigger the tree grows. There's these like kinds of apps. It's like to try to reduce screen time, mental health, blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah. In a similar way, because people are so discontent with social media and stuff, $1 million idea, an app which like is so bare bones simplistic, and all you do is just like send voice memos. That's it. I think there needs to be something, I don't know what, There needs to be some working with the notifications so that it's not like too incessant. Like maybe notifications are just off and you have to remember to check it. And then it's like, okay, that's going to call out a lot of people. Sure. But I think then it will become this more voluntary, happy thing of people being like, yeah, I want to check in on my friends. And like, you don't understand this because you don't have emotions. But I am being so dead ass when this is $1 million idea because it would be a big tech startup that then some lizard corporate would buy.
Nobody would buy it.
People would buy it.
There's no revenue stream.
Yeah, but Uber didn't have one at first.
Oh, there's revenue.
No, you need, okay, then have some like subscription model. Upgraded subscription thing.
What would you charge?
I don't know.
Exactly. No, but I'm saying, what would you charge the subscription for?
I don't know, like $5 a month or something.
For what?
I don't know.
The ability to access something that you already have on your other apps?
I don't know. What could it be? I don't know. Maybe you could do like journaling or some fucking shit. Or you could store them. That's it. You could store them. It would have an inbuilt way. Maybe like on the free model, you can only store like 10. Yeah, exactly. I'm cooking. You can only store like 10. It's your voicemail. It fills up. You can only store like 10. And then with the paid one, it's infinite. This is $1 million idea. I'm telling you.
This is a $3 idea.
This is $1 million idea because it would get a surge of new users who want for like the dumb phone kind of idea, the simplistic life, the more genuine human to human connection. And it would get a lot of new users and then you can sell it off to some company and they'll, ruin it. But like, whatever. $1 million idea.
You could code this.
No. I don't know coding.
I promise you, the thing that you are describing is so easy. You could code this.
No, but it would
realize that it will fail and then come back to me.
No, it needs to have some way of like, because you can't build it just through like texts and messages, Because like then you're going to get a bunch of spam calls. It needs to be some mixture of like friends, social media and like whatever. This is $1 million idea and you are just a fucking hater.
Hater.
You are a hater.
Just think that
you're a hater.
Bad.
That is being a hater.
I don't hate the idea.
If you're going to be that quiet, pull your mic closer.
I don't hate the idea. I just know the idea is bad.
It would be $1 million idea. It would. It would get so many users. You fucking advertise it on Instagram. You ever just want to send voice messages to your friends just to check in through the day?
They have that.
I know. They have
the amount
it
of people
as voice memos. They have it. I'm aware. But the thing is that the voice memo exists as a part of this greater texting culture, which people have largely societally opted to then prioritize. But if it's
so you want your app to be on the back burner. That's the recipe for a bad app.
What do you mean?
You want an app to be on the back burner.
No, because what I'm trying to say is that for ease of access, people will normally do the text. I send you a voice memo about, it's a nice day out, blah, 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 blah.
I would ignore the voice.
I know you would. A hypothetical you who isn't an asshole and actually cares about his friends.
Then I would.
Yeah, but then you would do a text response. Most people would.
Yes, because that's the sane way to do things.
Because that is the ease of access, like formula in, content out. We communicate through just the raw words that we are trying to say to each other, but it deprives it of the actual human connection between people from having a verbal conversation. If you could then leave a voicemail back, I am spitting here. You are such a fucking hater. I am so spitting here.
You are spitting on the mic.
I am. This is $1 million idea.
No.
Yes.
Disagree.
You're just a hater.
Is that bad?
No.
Okay.
Ugh.
Making sure.
No. It's probably because like my AirPods disconnected or some shit.
Okay.
You're just a hater. That's the truth of it. This is $1 million idea. What is your opposition to this?
You just made everything harder. And people don't do hard things.
People do hard things. Do. It's because you don't pay any mind to like the anti-phone movement of recent. You only see it through the, what's the word? Something thropic? Myopic lens of social media is bad. Of X,
I agree.
X.com is bad. Instagram is bad.
Social media is bad.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is there's also like, you know, in my mind, the one good aspect of social media is the ability to communicate with people, right? Is like, you know, even setting aside like all the funny Twitter posts about how Kai's alter said something acephobic in the platonic queer group chat. Like it is like inherently by social media, there's an easier way of communicating with people by texting them through social media. There's a lower barrier of entry to finding someone's Instagram account and messaging them on there than finding out their phone number and messaging them there.
Disagree, but okay.
How? Because I have an amazing counterpoint that'll blow you out the water. They'll make you no.
If you know somebody and you know their name, just talk to them.
Yeah.
And get their phone number.
That only works for if it's in-person to in-person interaction.
Correct.
What if you're trying to communicate with someone who isn't that? Yeah. I just fucking connected with some film student girl at Michigan State.
L University.
Agreed. But through communicating over YouTube and then Instagram. If I just have her name, I won't be able to find her fucking phone number.
No, you would not.
But I could find her Instagram.
I'm certain you did.
You see? And so now that allows for communication.
Fair enough.
So
this does not get to your... So now you have to have a discovery portion of your app. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be just people who are in your contacts. So now you have to have an actual social media. You've just turned a thing that is not a social media into a social media.
You know what? I think you don't need that.
Then you're not going to be able to communicate.
No. What I was trying to say is I was trying to build this up as I think that is the one important aspect of social media.
Okay.
But even through that, it is still raw text in, text out.
Okay.
If you are having an important emotional conversation with someone where you want to connect with them, will you do it through fucking texting or will you do it over the phone or in person?
I want to what?
If Maddie's breaking up with you, you want to do that over text?
No, I would do it in person.
Exactly.
So
for human to human,
yes,
for a more human to human interaction, we have evolved so that it is through the vocal dissemination of information and of words.
It's actually more through facial features, but okay.
Also facial features, sure. But if it's just text, what? Unless I'm sending a selfie of myself, like, then what are we doing?
We've already evolved past this. FaceTime. Called FaceTime.
Okay. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
Subscription model.
Oh my God.
You could do, instead of just like...
They already have this.
Audio.
There's already FaceTime voicemails.
What? Snapchat?
No. If you miss a FaceTime from somebody, you can record a message.
I think what I'm trying to say is I think I want something that is more of a like relaxed, low expectation, not necessarily desire of like having like a check-in in a way with your friends. I think it's a good idea.
I'm glad you think it's a good idea. You're entitled to your good ideas.
I think it is a great idea. I think it is $1 million idea. I will
have you know that $1 million is not that much.
$1 million is much to us broke college students.
Yeah, but you're not.
Are you telling me that if you got $1 million, you'd be like, pfft.
No, I'm saying that your $1 million idea.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's $1 billion idea.
Yes.
To be clear.
Okay.
I at first was going to type that to you. And then I was like, no.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. They would really have to do some like...
This is $112,000.
Some like Yahoo.com lying bullshit to get it to be $1 billion idea. It's $1 million idea. Not...
Then go pitch it.
I will. To your Harvard fucks on Thursday. Who else am I going to pitch it to?
Go to HEBC.
HEBC?
Harvard University Business Connections. Go pitch.
I think it is a good idea. I think it is a great idea.
You should pitch it to Sashva.
All right, then get him to come Thursday.
He won't come Thursday, but...
Pay him.
Oh, I'm not paying him anything. You can pay him.
Nah, I don't know.
Exactly.
Was he the guy that was really gullible?
No.
Who was the one that was really gullible?
I don't know.
You were like, yeah, this guy loves sucking cock because he's a big cocksucker. And he was like, wait, really? You're gay? And I was like,
maybe that was. That's not like Sashva. Was he an Indian guy?
I think so.
Yeah, that's Sashva.
He was at the, what was it, the Super Bowl? I think?
Yeah, he would have been at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. This is a banger idea.
It's not. Okay.
You are a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Bum.
No, I'm just a realist. That's not a good idea.
This is $1 million idea. You are hating.
You're inventing something that already exists.
I know, but it's doing it differently. Uber is just taxis. They already exist.
Uber's not just taxis.
Uber's just taxis already exist. Why would you want to do it through your phone? Sports gambling already exists. Why would you want to do it through your phone?
You're making examples that are totally irrelevant because this is already
language learning already exists. Why would you want to do it through your phone? Uber already exists. Why would you want life?
Voicemails already exist on your phone. Why would you want to do it on your phone?
Yeah, because it's
on your phone.
It's so inundated with other aspects of things. I'm talking about something that is intentionally depriving you of the other aspects of things.
Do you know how hard it is to get a voicemail to go through?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to a fucking voicemail?
That's why I'm saying one that isn't built like garbage. Because also the motherfuckers who leave voicemails
are terrible people. So why would we want to interact with voicemails even more?
Because then it's trying to invite good people in.
The good people don't want to waste your time.
I'm going to start leaving you daily voicemails.
And I'll keep deleting them.
That's hurtful.
But
you won't find out about all the interesting parts of my life then.
Do you know anything interesting about what I did in the last week?
A boat race.
1 boat race. Good job.
And 2 episodes of Chernobyl.
You were there for both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish that?
Mm-hmm. They didn't cover the elephant's foot.
They do?
They didn't.
Yeah, they do. That's the meltdown.
When?
The reason why they're mining naked is because they're preventing elephant's foot from reaching the groundwater.
Yeah, but okay, that I got.
Yeah.
But when was elephant's foot?
That was the meltdown.
When?
The whole time.
What do you mean?
After they smother it, everything that's melting, the meltdown, elephant's foot is just the result of the meltdown.
Oh, did they not find elephant's foot until later?
Oh, much later.
Oh, I thought elephant's foot was some shit they saw in person. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. But they were worried about the resulting thing that would eventually be called elephant's foot reaching the groundwater.
Right. Yeah. No, I got that.
Yeah.
Man, I thought...
Isn't it funny, though?
What? Elephant's foot?
No, it's just the naked dudes. I thought that shit was hilarious.
It's bizarre, but it's like...
It's always fucking HBO, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they're the one channel that can get away with it.
Yeah.
Really. Because,
what does HBO stand for? Hot Bodies Only?
They don't even call it HBO now.
What do they call it?
Yeah, they've dumped the HBO name. So that's why like there's a new medical show that people really like called The Pit. But like...
It's just on Max?
Yeah, but at the start, rather than saying like HBO Presents or HBO Max Presents, it says Max Presents.
Who's Max?
Exactly.
Okay.
Who's Max?
Yeah.
Because they're just Max now. They launched a new logo as well.
Now Go Max
show at some point, whatever. They showed a new Max logo and it looked like ass.
I wonder why they're doing all that.
Because they're dumb as fuck.
They probably spend a good
Because they spent
20 million every time they rebrand.
something like that. They spent 3 years lying about how they deleted an animated movie only to now be selling it away for some other company to finally release it.
What?
This is a gross oversimplification. There was like a few years ago, they had made some like, what is it? Wile E. Coyote versus the Roadrunner movie, animated movie. And it was like, I don't know, animation heads were really excited about it. But then there was the Discovery takeover and they were like, yeah, we're ditching this for tax reasons. It wasn't that good. We deleted it. It's gone. It's gone. Haha. And then there's been like years and years of people being like, wait, but what the fuck? Like, no way you actually did that. Like, that's fucked up. Why'd you do that? And then now they finally sold it off to some other company who's going to be releasing it. It'll be really funny if it's ass.
Other company?
Ketchup Entertainment.
Bro.
They have done, as far as I know, one other movie, which is another Looney Tunes movie that they bought from Warner maybe a year ago.
What movie is that?
Like when the Earth exploded or some shit. I don't know. I didn't see it. I think it's still playing. I don't know.
Ketchup Entertainment.
Ketchup Entertainment. Look, they bought a movie for 50 mil. They bought an animated movie for 50 mil. That's pretty nice considering the realistic budget.
Yeah, the movie probably cost a lot more than that to make.
Yeah. And I mean, marketing will probably make it so that it's equal to budget, but that's still a deal. That's still a deal, considering Warner would probably end up spending twice that on their combination of budget and marketing. And also it's gained years of like press because of the fact that it's been like so sealed away and whatever, that like I'd be surprised if it doesn't make 50 mil. I think it might be a little tough, but I think it will make it.
Probably Buns though. You only scrap a Buns movie.
They scrapped Batgirl and that was apparently really good.
What Batgirl?
They were going to make a Batgirl movie. Like Batman, Batgirl. It was like fully shot, fully edited. And they scrapped it. Tax write-off.
Probably bad.
I don't know. A lot of people, like insiders, were saying it was really good.
Insiders thought.
Yeah, you raise a fair point. However,
Yeah.
I don't even know what example you're going to give, but you raise a fair point. But I don't know. The new CEO of Warner has such a shitty track history ever since he's been in place that it's like I automatically oppose him for most things. What?
What movies would I unrelease? Is there a movie you would unrelease?
No, I think even if a movie's been fully fleshed out, it's like and made and edited, it kind of feels like a robbery of the artistic capacity to never release it. Like, even if you got paid. And also there's the aspect of a lot of people got royalty deals.
Yeah, people are getting screwed out of their
Yeah.
money, I see. What would I unrelease?
Like, I think even if you go through it and you make it and it's a final product and you're like, this sucks, this like super duper sucks, then you still release it and maybe do zero marketing.
I'd probably unrelease the Minecraft movie.
You haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd probably unrelease it though.
I have seen mixed
Start
reviews.
all over again.
I have seen mixed reviews.
Roll it back in.
I have seen...
You can make a better Minecraft movie in Minecraft.
Agreed. From what I have seen, I think it is like they really fucked the marketing because they really marketed it as this like family kind of movie. But from the reviews I've seen, the humor is very like the director is the guy who made Napoleon Dynamite, which you don't know, but is very incredibly awkward humor. And so it's like, I think in a way it is being built for its adult audience, but it like very much kind of betrayed that in how it was presented. There's a B plot where a villager comes into the real world and then Jennifer Coolidge, the actress, falls in love with him and takes him on dates. The same Jennifer Coolidge will be giving a commencement speech at Emerson College in May.
Wow, you got Jennifer Coolidge to
Apparently.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a better person than we got.
Who?
Some dude with a PhD from Canada.
Bah.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's given she's doing it, and she's getting some honorary degree as well.
It's actually lit.
Yeah. I wish I was going to be there, because then I would ask her about the Minecraft movie.
Wait, why are you not going to be there?
It's like the day after I leave, probably.
Why don't you just stay the extra day?
Because with my mom is moving me out.
I'd stay the extra day.
It's just not feasible. I would too if it were up to me. If it were up to me and I could do some extended bit, but it's just like not feasible with the cards we've been dealt.
Also, you would never get even close to her.
Yeah, no, of course not. No, I'm seeing it tomorrow. I was tempted. There was some like early screening on Sunday, but I was like, I don't feel like going through the effort of figuring out RSVP and tickets and blah, 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 blah.
It'll probably be bad.
Wait, no, I'm not seeing it tomorrow. I'm seeing it Thursday. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is tomorrow.
That'll probably be good. What is that?
That like scratching noise? I told you about this a while ago. It's my neighbors. Sometimes they're just like scratching at the carpet.
Oh.
I haven't heard them in a while, but...
Anyway, Switch 2 will probably be good.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it'll be bad. Let me say.
I think the graphics will be bad, though. Compared to like an Aya Neo?
I don't know what that is.
Another handheld.
Yeah, but I think the Switch Nintendo's never prided themselves on being a graphics company, for better or worse.
But why?
Because they're more of an innovation company. And you say, innovation, what have they fucking done? They did motion controls. They made the Switch, which was completely unthought of before then. Like now we have like things like the Steam Deck and whatever. It seems like they're also building it so the controllers will work as like a mouse, which is interesting to see.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm a little suspicious of it, skeptical, but I don't know.
Honestly, the only thing that blows is that your Switch 1 Joy-Cons don't work with your Switch 2 Joy-Cons.
No, I think they do. But it's the Switch 2 don't work with the Switch 1.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think it's that you can't put them on the Switch.
Yeah. But it would be nice to just use them as like Mario Kart controllers.
Yeah, I think you still can.
Oh, that's actually good then.
Yeah. As far as I know.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the design better.
What, the black?
Yeah, with the less visible bezels.
Okay.
The bezels on the Switch 1. You ever go back to the Switch 1?
What do you mean the bezels?
Like the gap between the glass start and the screen start.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, they improved that with the OLED, but like...
I agree, but I'm saying like the Switch 1 was pretty... But also the Switch 1 came out like, what, 2016?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're an innovation company.
They're not innovation.
Yeah,
company.
they are. Are you telling me the Switch 1 was not innovative?
No. I agree that was an innovation. They're not an innovation company.
I think that's what they try to focus on rather than being like graphics uber new game.
Well, no, I'm saying that like if they were an innovation company, maybe they wouldn't keep the same fucking old tech in their Switch.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I'm saying yes. It is ridiculous.
Product development innovation, like, or new product segments, maybe.
That, sure. Yeah. I like how they're like constantly throwing new shit and new gimmicks and games and stuff to see what sticks.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them don't, but some of them do.
Remember one robot, punchy cardboard?
I remember punchy cardboard.
What is it, Labo?
Yeah.
You still have that, don't you?
I still do.
You should fucking throw it away.
No, I'm gonna hold on. I told you this. I'm holding on to it for a video in a few years. Remember Nintendo Labo? It'll bang. Mill views if I have enough subscribers by then.
I
million view idea.
Sure, I hope so.
Microphone.
I hope that you get
pull that mic closer.
1 million views on your Nintendo Labo video.
I think it'll bang.
I think you could do it right now and it would get the same amount of views.
Nope.
Nobody remembers Labo.
I'm well aware, but Jay Schlatt was able to make a video with him fucking with a baby from the Wii era. And that got 1 million. You see my point? Mr. Janssen.
When was the Wii?
That was like
09?
I think so. And he made that like 2019 probably, so 10 years after. Maybe the baby released 2012, let's say. So 6 years after.
You're coming up. You could do it.
Sure, but I think
you could do it next year.
True, but I think also...
You should do it on the 10-year anniversary of the launch. Yes.
that could work.
When
On the launch of the Switch or the Labo?
Oh, no, a Labo.
I think that could work. I think also for at least the J-Schlatt example, it's a bit different because like Nintendo had the Wii, the Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch within like 10 years of each other. Or at least
is honestly impressive.
those generations. Well, it was because they were adhering more to like the console releases. They were fitting in more with the console wars and stuff. But ever since the Switch, they've largely kind of like opted out of it. The Switch has been out for like 9 years, 8 years or something. I don't know what Blood is doing. It's been out for like so long. By the way, we're recording this the Tuesday before it comes out because Javi's been a little fucker boy. And also I forgot I had a text mishap yesterday. But so like, I know this is going to be outdated by the time this releases since the Switch 2 Direct is tomorrow. So like, yeah. Also the Minecraft movie coming out. What are you on the phone for?
2018.
28? No, I don't believe that.
Nintendo Labo announcement trailer.
Oh, Labo. I'm talking about the Switch. When did the Switch come out?
Switch had to be.
I think that was 17.
Really?
I believe it's March or April 17.
March 3rd.
Yep. Yes, sir.
2017.
Yes, sir. So it is.
So really, you got 2 more years.
Well, for the 10 year of the Switch.
Yeah. Of the Labo.
But like, it is crazy how they released the Switch and they just kept with it for so long.
Yeah, that is weird.
They also didn't do like any like pro version besides the OLED, but the OLED was like much later. Because while PlayStation was doing like the PS4 Pro, Xbox was doing the Series, whatever. What were they doing? They were doing the Xbox One S and then the Xbox One X. Did they? Whatever. The Xbox was doing their own fucking thing. Why are you still with the phone? What's up with the phone, huh? You with the phone. What, are you finding critters out
They
there?
only sold 1.31 million Labos across the world.
Yeah, Nintendo Labo wasn't that much of a success. Because most people saw through it. It was very much a marketing thing towards kids. And I was like, I like Legos enough.
Could you have just made it with regular cardboard?
Regular cardboard, yes, but they had a lot of IR strips in it, which was how it worked because they had like some of the controllers had IR sensors in them. And so that would be harder to duplicate. I mean, presumably.
They had Bill Nye the Science Guy on this stuff.
Yeah, man.
Dang.
Look, Nintendo tries a lot of shit. They throw a lot of shit at the wall. Not all of it sticks. Definitely not. Look at Skyward Sword. That did not stick.
Remember Skylanders?
I remember Skylanders. That also didn't
what
stick.
Was Skylanders? What was Skylanders based off of?
Angle your mic closer to you.
What was Skylanders based
It was largely a new IP, but it was made by the people who made, I think, Spyro, the Dragon games. It is old games.
Dude, we have got to do better on our game naming.
What?
You ever just get upset?
It is that chair causes you to Google more.
I think so. But I was researching.
Researching.
This time I was researching how bad lunch is going to be, but...
Like, that's another one that completely is missed. Like, Amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
No one really fucks with Amiibo besides having them as, like, figures. But, like, their interaction with games and stuff, it's very
nobody
minimal.
fucking taps that shit.
Yeah. Unless it, like, gets you exclusive content in a game, like a cool costume or whatever.
What exclusive content, though?
Like in the new Zeldas, if you get one of the new Zelda amiibos, then you can get it and it'll be like a specific kind of helmet that like looks cool in a certain way and is based off the character. Why are you perking up? Are you reading the whiteboard? He is reading the whiteboard. This was planning out the Mouse Bites episode idea. I finished it. Do you want me to read it to you?
Oh yeah, actually that'd be good.
All right.
Are you gonna do it?
Okay, this isn't as a script. So this is just a scene by scene playthrough of like what happens, the scenes and whatever.
But did you get it to be Mouse Bites related?
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. House, episode titled Self-administered. Original episode outlined by Jake Stalvey. Character list. Dr. Gregory House, Dr. James Wilson, Dr. Lisa Cuddy, Dr. Allison Cameron, Dr. Robert Chase, Dr. Eric Foreman, Michael Vandelay, Bert, Dr. Rebecca Cade, Tim Cade, Cab Driver, Medical Board Official 1, Medical Board Official 2, Security Guard 1, Security Guard 2. Teaser, Scene 1. Interior, cab, early morning, day 1. Michael Vandelay, cab driver. Cab driver picks up Vandelay from the airport. Vandelay talks about how he was just on a vacation and brags about it. Teaser, Scene 2. Exterior, Vandelay's house, early morning. As Vandelay exits the cab, he falls over in pain. Cut to intro. But come on.
We're thinking of two different house intros.
No, they're all the same. They're just different instruments. What are you thinking of?
Wait, this house song.
Pull it up.
That was nowhere near.
Yeah.
Honestly, season 1 was definitely the best.
I don't know. I think it's like season 6 or season 7. But I feel like season 6 and 7 only works because it's the difference from season 1. Okay. End of teaser. What are you doing now? What the fuck are you doing? Are you just listening to different house intros?
Did it look like this?
What are you watching? No. That's just someone's watermark for a YouTube channel video. No, not that one. There's a different one. There's it's like season 6 or something.
I looked up season 6.
All right, then maybe I'm just lying.
Yeah, maybe you're just wrong.
Act 1, Scene 1. Interior hospital lobby, main floor. House and Cuddy. House arrives at work with Cuddy waiting for him. Cuddy directly assigns House to Vandelay's case because of his notoriety as a famous medical researcher. Cuddy says how she got Vandelay to agree to having House as his doctor despite their past differences. House is disgruntled. Act 1, Scene 2. House's office. House, Cameron, Foreman, Chase. House tells the team about the case while continuously insulting Vandelay. Foreman is interested in Vandelay because of his notoriety as a medical researcher. House tells the team to go run basic blood tests. Interior, Vandelay hospital room. Vandelay, the team. Team draws blood. Vandelay tells how he used to be a medical researcher before being unofficially ousted and that trying to work independently to redeem his career. What, are you getting bored already?
No, I'm visualizing.
You're visualizing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cameron, because she's empathetic towards men with tragic backstories, is compassionate. Vandelay does not reveal where he has been researching when asked. Vandelay suggests that the issue is a burst appendix because previously his appendix was burst, but they hadn't taken it out. They just shrunk it or whatever. Team a bit wary to jump to that conclusion. Whatever. Act 1, Scene 4. Interior, House's office. House, team. Cameron and Foreman bring back test results saying it could be appendicitis, but does not necessarily seem like it. Cameron and Foreman advocate for further scanning and tests.
This is not the whiteboard, right?
Yeah, or while House is maybe standing in front of it there, and they just walked in, they got the results.
Okay.
House silently walks out. Interior, Vandelay hospital room. House, Vandelay, Foreman, Cameron. House and Vandelay have unspoken tension. House bluntly tells Vandelay all the results and asks what he wants to do. Vandelay confidently says to go ahead with appendectomy. House gives false objections but gives in, telling Cameron and Foreman to go ahead with the surgery. Act 1, Scene 6. Interior, surgery observation room, evening, Foreman and Cuddy. Cuddy comes to check in about the status of the case. Foreman fills her in. Foreman asks why House seems to dislike Vandelay. Cuddy says that they used to be friends in medical school, but had some falling out that she wasn't aware of. Foreman automatically signs with Vandelay. Act 1, Scene 7. Interior, surgery room. Cameron, Chase, Vandelay. Cameron and Chase surgically remove Vandelay's appendix, commenting on how it does not seem that bad. Chase and Cameron make passive-aggressive comments at each other with regards to Vandelay. Because, like, Chase is a little sussed out that, like, she got all sob story on him. Act 1, Scene 8. Interior, Vandelay's hospital room, night. Cameron, Foreman, Vandelay. Cameron and Foreman update Vandelay on the appendectomy, and he seems to be doing better. However, he suddenly begins extreme vomiting, more than is normal for after an appendectomy. Cut to commercial. End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Interior, clinic, exam room 2. House and Bert. House is treating Bert, who is covered in hives. Bert has no clue why, mentioning offhandedly that he shaves sometimes. House then realizes that it is due to Bert shaving himself head to toe every day and then covering himself fully in aftershave. Act 2, Scene 2, Interior, clinic, House, Cuddy. Cuddy is waiting for House to finish with Bert. Cuddy expresses discontent with House for Vandelay's condition and unnecessarily removing his appendix. House tries to argue back by blaming it on Vandelay. Interior, hospital, hallway, patient floor, day 2, this is. The team updates House on Vandelay's status. Continuous into Vandelay's hospital room, House, team, Vandelay. Frustrated, House asks Vandelay for his lab's address. Vandelay refuses. House says he then refuses to keep being his doctor and leaves. Chase follows House while Foreman and Cameron are shocked. Act 2, Scene 5. Interior, House's office, day 2. House, Foreman, Chase. Foreman enters to House and Chase relaxing. Foreman starts having a mostly one-sided argument with House about refusing to treat Vandelay. Chase chimes in a few times to defend House's stance. Foreman accuses House of feeling inferior to Vandelay. Chase leaves to find Cameron. Foreman continues on. Act 2, Scene 6, outside Vandelay's room. Chase returns to find Cameron leaving Vandelay's room while grinning. Chase asks what happened. Cameron says she got the address, but don't worry about how and just tell House they're going. Cameron leaves to her car while the camera stays on an unhappy Chase.
1, 2, wooka wooka.
Interior, House's office. Foreman is still railing on House, who seems generally apathetic. The two get a page from Chase that they got the address and are going to Vandelay's lab. Foreman, still mad, exits. Then, Act 2, Scene 8, Interior, Cameron's car, driving. Chase presses Cameron more about what she did with Vandelay. Cameron wonders why Chase cares. The two get into dispute over how Cameron is treating Vandelay, with Cameron being pro-Vandelay and Chase being anti-Vandelay. Interior, Vandelay's hospital room. This is Act 2, Scene 9. Foreman and Vandelay. Foreman talks with Vandelay, admiring his career. Vandelay reveals his ousting from research was due to misconduct with a subordinate. Foreman is vexed. Vandelay goes into a somewhat convincing spiel about how it was a huge misunderstanding and a mistake. Still off-put, Foreman seems to give him the benefit of the doubt. This would have aired on Fox in like 2006, so whatever. Exterior, Vandelay's research lab, Act 2, Scene 10, Chase and Cameron. The couple is still arguing. Chase comments on the less than stellar environment. The lab is like in a strip mall and there's like boarded up windows. Cameron opens the door, finding the lab to be incredibly messy, run down, and mice infested. Cut to commercial, end of Act 2. Act 3, Scene 1. Interior, House's office. Cameron over the phone tells House and Foreman her first impression. Oops, I should change that and maybe resubmit the assignment.
What happened?
The phone. I didn't specify over the phone. Act 3, Scene 2. Interior, Vandelay's research lab, continuous. Chase and Cameron search the lab, finding tons of loose mice and various unlabeled medicine vials. Chase has a newfound positive outlook on Vandelay, amused by his dedication, while Cameron is obviously very judgmental. Cameron and Chase bicker. Interior, Vandelay's hospital room, Act 3, Scene 3, Vandelay, House, and Foreman. House enters and immediately argues with Vandelay, practically yelling at him. Vandelay explains how he had only been approved for animal trials for his medications, but was having the mice bite him to simulate human trials. Foreman is in disbelief. House tells Foreman to leave and begin treating for any mouse-related diseases. They're testing for any mouse-related diseases. Interior, hospital lab, Act 3, Scene 4, Foreman, Chase, Cameron. Chase and Cameron bring all the medicines they found, but most are nearly empty. Foreman says how proper testing for this will be incredibly slow. Interior, Vandelay's hospital room. Act 3, Scene 5. Chase, Cameron, Vandelay. Vandelay tries to explain his logic more. Cameron is clearly judgmental, while Chase is interested in Vandelay's obsession and dedication. Vandelay realizes he is unable to move his legs, and they are shown to be incredibly red, yellow, and swollen. Act 3, Scene 6. Interior clinic, exam room. House, Cuddy, Rebecca Cade, Tim Cade. House treats Tim, who has accidentally cut off the corner of his finger. Dr. Rebecca Cade has been trying to treat her own son, but the finger is getting worse. Cuddy interrupts, pulling House aside to remind him about Vandelay and his worsening condition. House tells the Cades that Rebecca has been doing too much doctoring and provoking the injury. House then has realization and quickly leaves. Act 3, Scene 7, Interior, House's office. House and the team. House enters, finding the team with a quiet tension. House theorizes that Vandelay gave himself a mouse-related disease through his experimentation, but had simultaneously been treating it with the medicine. However, since Vandelay's condition was worsening, they would need to inject him with mouse saliva to buy them time. House sends Cameron to get mice from Vandelay's lab. Act 3, Scene 8, Interior, House's inner office, continuous. House, Foreman, Chase, Cameron, Cuddy. House seems content with this idea while Foreman and Chase argue against it. Cameron then returns with a shocked Cuddy. Cut to commercial, end of Act 3. Act 4, Scene 1, Interior, Cuddy's office, evening. Cuddy and House. Cuddy and House argue about the mouse saliva idea. Cuddy is concerned about the public image and legal liabilities this could create. Interior clinic, outside Cuddy's office. The team eavesdrops on the argument. Foreman silently leaves. Interior, Vandelay, the Act 4, Scene 3. Interior, Vandelay, hospital room, night, Cuddy, House, Vandelay. House and Cuddy each present their argument to Vandelay, hoping for a tiebreaker vote. Vandelay, for some reason, consents to House's idea. Cuddy, however, still forbids the injection. Act 4, Scene 4, Interior, House's inner office. Foreman and House. Foreman finds House alone and depressed. House says how his hands are tied since he couldn't find the mice at night anyway. It's nighttime now. Foreman reveals that he took the initiative to get the mice already. House excuses Foreman for the night, saying he will do the dirty work. Act 4, Scene 5, Exterior, hospital parking lot, Chase and Cameron. Since they carpooled, Chase asks Cameron to drop him off at his house on her way home. Act 4, Scene 6, Interior, hospital lobby, main floor, morning. Cuddy and House. Cuddy is waiting for House to arrive, late. Cuddy is frustrated, saying how Vandelay has suddenly improved, implicitly accusing House. House plays dumb. Act 4, Scene 7, Interior, Vandelay's hospital room, Foreman and Vandelay. Foreman checks in on Vandelay. Foreman says how Vandelay tested positive for lymphocytic choriomeningitis. Vandelay is excited. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Vandelay is excited since that means his experimentation worked. Foreman says how he should be good to go in just a few days. Act 4, Scene 8, Interior, hospital locker room, morning, Chase and Cameron. Chase and Cameron are initially awkward and not talking. Chase then admits he thinks Vandelay is also crazy and that he switched sides just to keep opposing Cameron. Chase and Cameron hash out Chase's feeling of jealousy when Cameron was talking with Vandelay. Also a thing to resubmit for. Act 4, Scene 9, Interior, patient floor lounge. Foreman, Vandelay, and the two medical board officials. While talking with nurses, Foreman sees two people talking with Vandelay. Act 4, Scene 10, Interior, Vandelay's hospital room, continuous. Foreman enters as the medical board officials finish talking with Vandelay, who is irate. The medical board officials leave. Vandelay tells Foreman how they were from the medical board and that Vandelay's license has been revoked and his discoveries, if proven fruitful, won't be attributed to him. Foreman questions what he was expecting to happen. Vandelay becomes furious and yells at Foreman, praising his own ability and lamenting the misjustice happening. Foreman calls in nurses and leaves disturbed. Act 4, Scene 11, Interior, hospital lobby, second level. House, Wilson, Vandelay, security guards, Foreman. Wilson finds House eating popcorn and looking down at the main floor. Wilson starts questioning if House knew Vandelay was in town, but House says to just watch the view. Vandelay, still quite upset, is escorted out by security guards below. Wilson, at first surprised, and House eat popcorn and heckle Vandelay from above. Foreman, confused, enters before realizing what is going on. House offers Foreman some popcorn, which Foreman accepts. End of show.
Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. When I finished that, I was like, yo, I actually kind of cooked there.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Oh, mouse bites.
He's got to inject the mouse bites, and I need to resubmit that with those little fixes.
When does it due?
Tomorrow night, I think.
You got time?
Yeah. I just need to read down the PDF.
Mouse bites. Do it like that. That's
Sorry, I needed air. I'm like dry and tired and out of breath.
You're out of breath.
Yeah, dude, I just was monologuing for like 15 minutes.
That was a pretty impressive monologue.
Well, I had to read through it all. It's not like you were gonna pitch in.
Well, I don't have it.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
I was really happy with the final scene of like Foreman, like not necessarily fully understanding House and Wilson's hatred for this guy, but like kind of. And so he's like, yeah, I'll join in with eating popcorn and saying, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
I think it worked out well.
Is Vandelay a character?
No, original.
Totally original.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Vandelay is a reference to Seinfeld.
Oh.
In Seinfeld, the character George Costanza, whenever he's trying to pretend to be someone else, he will say his name is Art Vandelay.
Huh. I wonder how many people would catch that.
I know my mom did. I think maybe my teacher might, but like, It's obscure enough these days.
Yeah, I don't know many people who have watched Seinfeld all the way through, but I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
If you submitted that to a fanfic, people would go nuts.
Yeah, well, I had the idea of, I don't know how, of trying to turn it into like a video of like, I made the house bites, or the house mouse bites
AI, dude.
joke. No, fuck AI. Real shit, fuck AI.
But it could make them move.
No, but it's more of having to do like actually turning it into a script and stuff.
Oh yeah, like writing out the actual dialogue.
Yeah, like that would suck.
What did Cameron do in that room?
I don't know. I had the idea that she was just kind of like sweet talking, sucking up to him, and that because he's like some misogynistic like chauvinist,
Right.
that like had some previous misconduct, that he was like, oh, woman.
What did you think of Chernobyl?
I thought it was good. I found out it was pretty inaccurate.
Where is it inaccurate?
I don't know. I Googled it, and apparently it's based on a book, which has been cited for a lot of inaccuracies. I mean, some of which they admitted, like the woman character is like not real.
Totally right.
I think it's better that they.
Turbina didn't have a family.
What, in real life he didn't, or
what's the name of the scientist?
Legasov
has a family and a wife and kids and lived a pretty nice life even before he killed himself, and was more of a real party man.
Yeah. So like they didn't, there's a lot of those inaccuracies. For the woman character, I think I have mixed feelings about it.
Why?
Because I think from a storytelling perspective, it works better if she is a singular character, but like it simultaneously kind of is a giant plot hole in and of itself, because it's like they have such a fucking big deal on their hands and they only got 2 scientists on it.
Yeah.
2. And like, also I feel like, you could be like, Soviet Union, they wouldn't have a woman at that time.
No, they would have a woman.
They wouldn't?
Soviets were extremely.
Were they?
Extremely.
I wasn't confident on that either way. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if this is a thing or not. I don't know. I think like it's an interesting show.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of felt like not a lie, not like misinformation, but like anti-Soviet propaganda in a way. Because it's like, look at the party. They're all fucking dumb. They just care about looking good and money. And it's like, okay, yes. Yes, I get the point. And that's accurate. But I think then like some of the stuff at the end, how they were like, what was it? They said like the Soviet official death toll, which has still been not updated since originally, is like 31. And it's like, okay, I get that probably Russia still says there's only 31 people, but it feels like I don't know, maybe an oversimplification to be like, yeah, like Soviet USSR, modern day Russia, so different. And so it almost feels like to then be like kind of the sins of the father onto Russia, which like maybe is justified, maybe isn't. I don't know. You know?
And that was all shot before Ukraine happened.
I know. Yeah, but people have always been anti-Russia ever since the Cold War.
Well, yeah.
I think it's also like, I don't know. Because I'm going into like the literature analysis mode or media analysis mode. I think it's like it simultaneously could be seen as like a depiction of like communism as bad because like clearly the system is fucked up. But I think also can equally be seen or just as much if you put in the brain power to realize that like this is less so of an indignation of communism and more of like Stalinism, Soviet Unionism, whatever you want to call that as.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, whatever. I'm not going to start preaching the gospel of communism.
Yeah. Explosions were cool though. And I think the court scene is cool, despite being totally made up.
Is it made up?
The total whole court scene is neither Legasov or Shabina was at the actual trial.
Oh, that sucks then.
But it does put a nice bow on everything.
Yeah. And I think it really works well for like being the all points coming together. Here's how it happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say that like the reveal that like Legasov kind of knew the whole time what was the issue, but like he wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I had mixed feelings about because it was like, okay, there is like some moral like conflict being put on play here, but it also kind of took the umph out of it in some ways. Yeah.
Well, we're over time.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Barely.
There's a minute and 8.
A minute and 8. It's an hour and 3. Because we started the cameras before.
Oh, minute and 5. Guess I was dumb. You heard it here, folks. I'm dumb.
You know a good bit? If you are anywhere near, get close to your microphone. If you're anywhere near a bathroom, throwing a crumpled up ball of paper or toilet paper at someone, because they will automatically assume it's covered in shit.
Yeah.
For understandable reasons.
Start tossing it over the stalls.
Yeah, to just huck it at someone.
Yeah, but then when you come out of the stall, you gotta be
what?
If you come out of the stall, you gotta be like,
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if you were taking a shit in there and I just like open the door, throw a crumpled up toilet paper ball at you.
I have to be on the toilet throwing it outside.
Or that, yeah.
You throwing one in doesn't make any sense.
No, but I think your first gut instinct would be shit ball because you're in shit mindset. Then the second you put in any thought, it works.
I think it's better if you're in the bathrooms you see on the highway at the rest stops where there's 8 million of them in a row.
Yeah.
And you're in a stall. You throw one over the door into the next stall, book it.
Roll it underneath.
No, don't roll it. Throw it.
Throw it?
Yeah, because they're looking. Everybody now is looking down. Imagine.
Or like throwing it at someone who's washing their hands.
No, because then they see you and then you get beat up.
Yeah, but if you do it quick enough,
they see you.
You could do it quick enough.
Yeah, you certainly could not.
I couldn't. I'm saying the royal you could.
No. I think throwing it over the stall.
Over the stall is your best bet.
Yeah, to not get beat up.
Yeah, but I think that is a little human psychology trial of will they realize soon enough that it isn't in fact covered in shit.
Yeah. There you go. There's your thesis.
Yeah. What? Man, you just want to end this, huh?
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll get that one.